Huh? Huh? Oh. Oh, I said, hi everybody, it's Sue. Have you guessed what my new DIY project is yet? Oh, this? What's with the crazy getup? No, it's not the new Canadian COVID mask, although it would probably work. It's just another hint, because it's another frosty cold day here in southern Ontario. Still haven't figured it out? Well, my painting last week was another hint. I'll put it up here, and if you'd like to see how I painted it, click on the link above. Chilly day, little girl holding, hot chocolate, springs to mind. Yeah, no. Okay, here's another clue. Watch my backgrounds. Ah, the smell of coffee beans in the air. Ooh, the warm, soothing heat of a nice hot cup of tea in the morning. And the delicious chocolateness. Still haven't got it yet. I'm making a new coffee bar, hot chocolate, tea included. So, I have hemmed and hawed around for a long time about this project, not really knowing where to start. There's lots of ideas out there on Pinterest and on YouTube and absolutely everywhere. I just knew I wanted it to be Farmhouse. So I kind of scoured the internet and found a few videos of things I liked. I decided that I really liked the Shiplap look, but it was kind of expensive even with some cheaper options out there. So I combined a few ideas of various YouTubers, and I will put links to their channels below because they really were a big inspiration for me. But if you want to see how I turned my blank canvas of a kitchen wall into a cozy little coffee, tea, hot chocolate nook, let's get started. So I had this blank white wall staring at me for quite some time. This is where I always dreamed my coffee bar would be. I had this little cart on wheels that was on the other wall, but it never fit into the spot that I wanted because of the towel racks and whatnot on the side. So I decided to check it out, and sure enough, I could unscrew them, and voila, it fit perfectly. I also had this little white cabinet that I used to store the kids' lunches in, so I thought I would take those out, relocate them, and use this to put my coffee mugs. Now I am really frugal, and I didn't want to pay the extra money to buy shiplap or create it out of wood, so I thought, I'm artsy fartsy, I can paint it. So I took some masking tape, and every 6 inches, because that's sort of the standard width of shiplap, I put a strip of tape along the wall where I wanted my paint marks to be. Then I just used some gray chalk paint and a dry brush and went along the top side of the tape to indicate the boards. Now I stressed about this project for such a long time because I was so afraid to start in case I screwed it up or I didn't like it. But that's one life lesson I learned. Especially with farmhouse decor, the more rustic it looks, the more natural it looks, and the better. And also, if I messed it up, it was just paint. I could paint over it. So, armed with that knowledge, away I went, and it was actually very soothing. Then I took a wider dry brush and then just put some more of the gray paint on it and just sort of put strokes here and there to kind of replicate a wood look. And if it was too dark, I just took some white paint and went back over it. So I did this about 3/4 of the way down the wall because the cabinet was going to be covering the bottom bit, so I didn't bother with that. And thank you to my 2 helpers for this part of the video, my son Mitchell who videotaped, and the foreman on the job, JJ. Now the absolute most satisfying part is peeling off the tape. And once I did, I thought it looked pretty good. I thought it looked like rustic weathered wood. Let me know what you think. So I bought some black shelf brackets from Amazon. I'll put links below to all the materials I used, and I got my faithful hubby here to put them up for me. Then I took a cheap piece of 1x6x8 and used my trusty shoe polish to stain it and weathered the wood. Now they were a little bit warped, but again, with Farmhouse, that's okay. Now I also fell in love with these faux windows with wreaths on them, but looking on the internet, they were $50 and up on Amazon and Etsy, so I thought I could make my own. So I had this large canvas that was blank, but it had gotten a stain on the top, and I thought, well, I can just reverse canvas and use it. So I cut the canvas off, and I took some Rust-Oleum white linen chalk paint and covered it with 1 coat. And I also got the s'more skewers, or you could just use dowels from the Dollar Tree, and some black paint. I also thought I should break in my new Gorilla Glue gun that Santa brought me. So I took the canvas off the frame and just put one coat of the chalk paint on because I wanted some of the wood to show through to make it look more rustic. Took the black acrylic paint and painted the skewers and let everything dry. So to make the wreath, I had this little grapevine wreath already on hand, and I bought some greenery from Amazon. I got like 12 bunches for $20, which I thought was pretty good. And some of this buffalo check wired ribbon as well. So first thing I did was take off all the little sprigs of my greenery, and I ended up using about 2.5 bunches for this whole wreath. Then I just used my glue gun to cover the whole wreath base with the greenery. Once the whole wreath form was covered, I just went back in and filled in any bare spots that I saw. And again, I used probably about 2.5 bunches, so really about $3 worth of greenery for this wreath. So I set the wreath aside and cut 3 12-inch lengths of this buffalo check wired ribbon, and then I just folded them into the center and tacked them in place with a little bit of hot glue. Then I scrunched them in the middle and attached the 3 pieces together with some floral wire. You could also use a pipe cleaner or some string. Then I fluffed out the bow and positioned the loops where I wanted them, and took another piece that was about 12 inches as well and attached it to make some tails, and I cut the ends off the tails. Then I took a small strip of the ribbon and wrapped it around the center just to make it pretty. So I didn't film the assembly of the window, but basically once the black wooden skewers were dry, I just cut them in place so that I had 2 going across one side and 1 going across the length of the other side. Then just glued them in place to look like a window. And also I took a thin piece of ribbon and tied it around the window frame. Then I attached the wreath to the window frame with the ribbon and glued the poofy black and white check ribbon onto that. Since pictures speak louder than words, here's a picture of how the window and wreath turned out. I think it looks pretty cute. So the first item to go on my shelf was this little mason jar centerpiece, which I did a while ago, and I'll put a link above as to how to make it. So I kept out my gingerbread themed Christmas decorations because I thought it went well with hot chocolate bar. So I have these little decor items up here. In the little box I have some hot chocolate packets, and then I also have my centerpiece here in the middle, a vintage hot chocolate tin I got for Christmas, and my cat, mom, and dad mugs that the kitties bought. Now under the coffee machine I have some white and clear mugs that I'm going to be putting some Ray Dunn stickers on, and I bought some clear canisters to display my coffee, tea, and hot chocolate, and some candy canes. So here is my finished hot chocolate coffee tea bar area. Hopefully you like it. I'm going to be working on the command center on the other wall. Let me know if you think I should continue the shiplap on the other side. And let me know your comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.